Hey lovelies, join me as I put you through the process of making my baby's beautiful outfit that she has on here. Nobody talks about the stress of getting your toddler to take a picture. Like, it wasn't easy trying to put her in one place to make this video, but anyhow, I just put one or two together. She looks really adorable and I'm super proud I made this outfit because it's very simple, it's very quick to make. So join me, let's go through the step-by-step process in making this beautiful outfit. Please ensure to like, share and subscribe. From the side here, which will serve as my center fold, I'm going to be marking my shoulder measurement divided by 2, and the shoulder I'm using here is 8.5 inches divided by 2, that is 4.25. But then I'm not going to be marking exactly the shoulder measurement. I'll be adding 2 inches so that I can have some ease around there for gathers. You know that we are attaching a rope to the top of this dress, so we need some allowance there to enable us have enough room to gather. Now from the top there, which will serve as the shoulder line, I'll be marking down to my chest line, which is also 4.25. So I'm just basically cross-checking everything so that I can have straight lines. After I'm satisfied with my markings, I'll just go ahead and draw a line connecting from the shoulder to the chest line like this. Now from the point of the chest here, I'm going to divide my round chest measurement by 4 and add 2 inches to that for ease. So the measurement I'm using here is 20 inches divided by 4 is 5 plus 2 is 7 inches. You can go ahead and add 1 more inch at this point for sewing allowance, which I totally skipped. So I'm just going to be squeezing in from these 2 inches I've put here for my sewing allowance, but you should add your sewing allowance, especially if you intend to use this dress for long. If you want to be increasing the size, ensure that you add your seam allowance, okay? So let me just quickly specify each line so that you can understand better what each line here means. The top one right there is the shoulder line, while the second one here is the chest line. So moving forward, we're going to be marking the length of this dress, and you know that we intend to have ruffles at the end of this dress. So the top part of the dress, I'm going to be marking it at 13 inches, and to enable us join the top to the down, we need ½ inch at the bottom there for joining allowance. So in total I marked 13.5 inches. So I'm just going to draw a line across at the 13.5 inch mark. To know the measurement you'll be marking at the hem of the dress, I just went ahead to measure what I have at that chest line. There I have 7 inches. I'll be adding 1 inch to the 7 inches. That will be 8 inches. That is what I'm going to be marking at the hem of this dress. I'm just trying to create like a little A line so that this dress is not going to be completely straight. So I just want to give it a little bit of shape. So I just basically added 1 inch to what I have on the chest line. Go ahead and draw out your armhole at this point, and that is basically it for this dress. You can go ahead and cut out everything accordingly. Now, if you want to draft out a pattern for the ruffle part of this dress, you can just go ahead and measure what you have at the hem of the dress and multiply that by 3. But I'm not going to be cutting that on pattern. I'll be cutting that directly on the fabric. I just drafted this particular one on the pattern so that you can see clearly how I'm drafting it, okay? So let's go ahead and cut out on our fabrics. I have these 2 beautiful Adire scrap fabric, and I intend to join them together to make this dress. So I'll be using the yellow piece for the top part of this dress, while the blue is going to serve as the ruffle part of this dress. So I'm just gonna head to fold my fabric into 2 just like this, making sure that everything is laid down and straight. And then I'm going to bring over the piece we just drafted and place it, aligning the folds together. Remember that that was a center fold when we drafted. We're going to be aligning it to the fold of this fabric. So after I'm done, I'm just gonna head to cut everything out exactly like we just drafted. After cutting, this is what it looks like. Oh my god, I really love the way the design is in the middle right there. It's looking really beautiful. I'm so happy. So guys, we'll be needing 2 pieces of this, one for the front and one for the back. So I'm going to cut another one again so that we can have 2 pieces. I'm going ahead to bring over the other side of the yellow piece again, and I'm going to be cutting just the way we just did right now. After cutting everything, this is what we have. We have 2 pieces for the up part of this dress. The next thing now, we're going to be working on the ruffle part of the dress, and like I said, I'll be using this beautiful blue Adire fabric right here. So the first thing I'm going to do is to measure what I have around the hem, both the front and the back. Ensure that you are measuring both the front and the back, and you're going to add that together. Whatever you have, you're going to multiply it by 3. That is what you're going to use to cut the down ruffle part of this dress. So after measuring the front and the back, I have a total of 32 inches, and multiplying 32 by 3, that is 96. So basically I'm just going to cut like 100 inches for the length of the ruffle. So I'm bringing over my blue fabric. Remember that this is a scrap fabric. I had used it before to sew something, so I have it hemmed because I intended to use this one as the head tie. So I hemmed it all round. So since I already have a hem here, I'm not going to hem this ruffle. I'm just going to cut it so that I can use the hem I already have there to sew. So it's going to actually save time. Okay, but you're using a fabric from scratch, so ensure that you are adding hemming allowance, okay, folding allowance. So the length I'm using for the ruffle is 6 inches. I'm going to be adding ½ inch up so that I can join to the top part of this dress. That's 6.5 inches. So for you now that don't have your hem already, make sure that you add 1 inch again to enable you hem your dress. So in total you should have 7.5 inches. I hope you understand. Okay, so I'm just going to measure that all round and then I'll cut out. Since the total length I need for this ruffle is 100 inches, I will need to cut 2 pieces to join together so that I can have a total of 100 inches. Okay, so I'm just basically going to fold this again and cut another piece. So after I'm done, this is what it should look like. I'll just bring over this piece here. I'm going to be gathering this blue piece underneath the yellow piece, and then I'm going to be folding this part up here to create the casing to have that gathers at the top. I'll finish up the armholes nicely, and I'll also be joining the sides together. Not to worry, I'm going to film the whole sewing process. The next thing now, I'm going to be creating the ropes that we'll need for the sleeves and to create that gathers at the chest line there. So the length of the rope I'll need is 30 inches and the width should be about 1.5 inches. What I have here is not long enough. I'll need to cut pieces together and join together to be able to get that 30 inches. Note that we're going to be needing 2 of those ropes. That is 2 ropes that are 30 inches long each. I'm just basically cutting different strips that I'll join together, but all I need is 2 strips, okay? I went ahead to cut 3 pieces. I think this should be enough to create 2 ropes. So now that we're done cutting all our pieces, let's head over to the sewing machine and stitch everything together. So guys, the first thing we're going to do is to finish up the armhole, and I've gone ahead to cut out this piece here, which I'll use as my bias tape. I'll be placing this on the right side of my fabric, and I'll go ahead and stitch all around following the shape of the armhole. Once I'm done, I'm just going to turn this over to the wrong side, and then I'm going to stop stitch again. After sewing that down, this is what it looks like. I'll just go ahead and sew this on all the armholes on both pieces of this dress. So after stitching everything down, this is what I have. You can see that I have all the 4 corners of my armhole nicely finished. Okay, so the next thing now is to create the casing that I'll pass the ropes through, where there's going to be gathers around the chest. And to do that, at the top of my dress, I'll be folding this part here first by about ½ inch, and then I'll fold again by about 3/4 of an inch, just like this. Okay, so I'll take this over to the machine and then I'll top stitch it to hold it down in place. So while folding, I'm ensuring that I have about 3/4 of an inch, just enough to be able to pass my ropes through. Okay, so I'm just going to sew that from one armhole to the end. After stitching down, this is what I have. This is what it looks like. I'll make sure that I'm doing the same thing for the other side as well. Okay, so the next thing now, we're going to be working on the rope itself. And remember that I cut 3 different pieces to join together to create 2 ropes. So I'm just basically going to be joining them at this point. After joining together all my pieces, you can see that I have a very long piece right here. So I'll be creating the ropes now. I'll first of all just fold in the sides by ½ inch like this, and then I'll cover it up like this. So altogether I should have about ½ inch width for the ropes. So I'm just going to do that all round from beginning to the end of the rope and secure it down with my stitches. While I'm sewing, I'm just basically folding it inwards, just like I explained. Now after sewing the ropes, this is what I have. It's a very long piece, so I'm just going to divide this into two because like I said, I need 2 ropes for this design. Okay, so after I'm done, I'm just going to bring back my dresses like this, and I'm going to be joining the sides together. I'll be placing right side facing each other while I sew down the sides with my desired sewing allowance. This is what it should look like after you're done stitching. Okay, so you just make sure that you stitch on both sides of this dress. Now after you're done with that, the next thing is to work on the ruffle, which is the down part of the dress. And you know that we had 2 pieces, so we have to join together to have one long piece. So I'll be stitching this part here, making sure that the hem of my dress is equal. So for you that don't have yours hemmed already, ensure that you hem it at this point after joining. Okay, so when you're done, I'll be gathering this. I'll be using my gathering foot to gather this piece here. So I'm just gonna head to change my footer, and then I'll increase my stitches to the highest one, which is 5. And then I'm just basically going to stitch. This footer makes everything very easy. It's a must have, guys. You should have this among your sewing tools. It's very nice. So after gathering, this is what it looks like. You can see how beautiful this looks. Okay, so I'll be attaching this to the dress now. I'll go ahead and change my footer back to the normal sewing foot, and I'll also decrease my stitches back to number 3, and I'll bring over the dress which you just sew and locate the right side. I'll be placing right side of the ruffled piece to the right side of my dress, just like this. I'll ensure that I'm sewing my main dress facing up so that I won't have to be pulling the ruffle. You know, you have to be very careful so that you won't cut the ruffle, else you have to ruffle it back again. Okay, so I'm just stitching this part here with 1/2 inch seam allowance, and I'm stitching all the way around from the beginning to the end of this dress. After I'm done stitching, I still have some excess around here, so I'm just basically going to cut this part here out, and then I'll join them back together. I've gone ahead to join the ends of my ruffle together like this, and then once I weave, I'll just finish up that part. My dress is already coming together, guys. You can see how beautiful it looks already. The next thing now is to insert the ropes, and I'll bring over my safety pin, which I'll use to insert into this casing we had initially made. So I'm just going to pierce it through the rope and then pass it through this casing we have here. So already you can see that gathering effect is giving. I'll do this for the other side of the dress as well. So this is what it looks like after I'm done. Our dress is all ready. We're just going to tie this up and our dress is ready to be rocked. I'll go ahead and finish up the inside nicely, making sure everything is nice and clean, and I'll give this dress a nice press. So guys, we've come to the end of this tutorial. I hope you found this video helpful. I hope you'll be trying this out. I can't wait to see what you have made. Ensure that you join my sewing group on WhatsApp. I'm going to leave the link in the description box so that I can see your recreation. Okay, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel and join the fam. Turn on your notification bell so you get notified each time I post nice videos like this. See you in my next tutorial. Thank you. Bye.